Alex Ansary here, bringing an end to this day. It is September 25th in the year 2017. I'm curious your thoughts. If you were to be in a situation to where you were isolated, but you had your food and water, what would you do for months on end? Would you read many books? What would those books be? Would you write a book? What would you write about? Would you learn a new skill? Would you order a series of educational DVDs to expand your consciousness? Would you learn a martial art? Would you go into deeper levels of advanced meditation? Remember, the cornerstone of psychic protection is to be involved in your own spiritual growth. So it's not necessarily about defensive. Proactiveness isn't so much combative, but working on our own spiritual development. And I talk more about this in the video that'll be uploaded tomorrow, but we should be focused on connecting with a true creator, especially when we find ourselves sensitive to things on the internet, things that are going on in the world, and then seeing evidence of non-local awareness in our lives. Talk about someone, think about someone, something manifests either positive or negative. Have you seen that in your own life? Have you noticed in your own life how you may have created some negative things for yourself? I certainly have. I certainly do. How about the positive? So within a certain framework, we do create our own reality. Wisdom is knowing where that is. Distortion is the materialism that a lot of people get caught up in, how what they can manifest for themselves. So there's a reason why I talked about certain individuals in spiritual communities that charge a great deal of money to people that are vulnerable psychologically, weak psychologically, that don't have their own center. And I remember what that was like. I also feel myself back in that situation from time to time. And right now, I'm in a state of growth. I'm in a growth spurt. I also don't see the validity or the need in discussing every element of what is on my mind or going on within me emotionally. There's actually quite a bit. I'm spending most of my time walking on my land, getting heavy exposure to sunlight. I opt out from certain luxuries, if you will, luxuries of the grid. I live a fairly simple life. I'm not freaked out. My car's not working. Why? It's obviously a starter. It is obviously the starter. Of course, we'll get that checked out. So in a few weeks, if I'm able to see John again, if he's able to make his way back up here, that would be great. It would be great to have local allies. It's been difficult without local allies. I've also seen how there are some people that just watch the channel to look for negative things as opposed to the positive. That is unfortunately the world that we're in. It's something that I struggle with as well. We tend to notice the negative and see one of the things that I think about, what can I be watching tonight? What can I be listening in the morning that's of a positive nature that's going to get me going? You know, real traditional healthy living. I'm not a vegan, but when you talk about real clean and sober living, which a lot of people are not, and as someone really totally straight, if they're all jacked up on a bunch of coffee. Um, Today and yesterday has definitely been decaf days. Decaf today, no coffee yesterday. So I also go through these periods where I'm not eating meat because my car's not working and I'm not going to the store and I'm not drinking coffee and I don't have certain luxuries, even without sugar. I am going to be entering a different space in mind, body, and spirit this winter. For those that don't know, not only do I live off the grid alone, but I'm in an area where I'm snowed in for months. Okay. No girlfriends coming over. No parents, no relatives coming over. 37 years old. I'm doing media for 12 years, and it's played a role in my isolation. That's even if you like it. You can like it and you can be a supporter. That's great. And I'm not knocking you down one. I'm going thumbs up. I'm just letting you know, just because you might like the content, you know the rest of the world has a different view. And that's never an attack on you. But every now and then it needs to come up. Some of you are very supportive and you're very kind. It's just that at times you forget that the world really isn't like you. So some people are kind of new to the idea they're different than the rest of the world. I was actually trying to do the math. Like, if you watch this channel um, and support what I do, you're a very small percentage of the population. You're a very small percentage of the viewing subscriber base if you're a supporter. But things are improving. I can look at recently. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Pam, that also signed up on demand, who's a local in the state of Colorado, who's having her off-grid experience over in the San Luis Valley. That was a beautiful message that you left on that on-demand video, where supporters have joined up for $5.95 per month. And to see the very first person in the state of Colorado sign up meant a lot. It also means a lot to see that I'm reaching Europe. I scratch my head sometimes wondering, why am I receiving more affection, if you will, from non-American females that like this content, that have their own, understanding of brotherly, sisterly love, that aren't weirdos with it. And I'll tell you what, and I just need to share. In past years, I've dealt with a lot of weird energy, and I still do. It's just that I trust my intuition when it's time to distance myself from certain individuals on the internet. Ultimately, there's a lot of questionable people out there. And I've shared some of the things in other podcasts, right, that I don't really want to bring into here. But I talked about a week ago or 2 weeks ago. So there's caution, just like in the streets, just like you want to be cautious, right? You want to go into a bar. Well, what are you doing going into a bar in the wrong side of town? Maybe somebody slipping something into your drink isn't the only concern. So we need to be thinking about where we go, our thoughts, right? If we could see evidence that we're manifesting our reality. And I don't mean that we manifest everything. We certainly don't manifest our greatest hopes and desires. We certainly, and I'll stand in the face of the New Agers and just say, no, you guys are way off saying we create all things and we might create our own fears. Yes, to a certain degree, but if that was the case, oh my God, can you imagine? Can you imagine if we literally created all our own fears? How fair is that? So we do not create all our own desires. We do not create all our own fears, but we create and destroy all the freaking, all the freaking. But are we mindful of how we do it and how we can do it for the greatest good of all? Not to be self-serving divas, as a lot of people do once they realize how to make money. I want money. And there are some people, they go into this money dance. I want candy. And I mean, that's where we're at right now until the return of the sun. And I'm looking at that sky. The return of the sun. Don't you think it's odd? All these people are talking about return of the sun. And I'm like, return of the sun, solar flare. No, I've always found it weird. But yes, I think this whole return of the solar cycle and the change it's going to bring our electric grid, and the change it's going to bring these governments, the change it's going to bring relationships and consciousness for you and for I. That is something that has my focus. So I think about connection to the creator. If we find ourselves increasingly sensitive to certain energies, I know I do, we should be thinking about other ways other than numbing ourselves. We should be going deeper into the sensation of becoming aware. But it's what we become aware of, what we focus on. So we can unknowingly manifest things that we call bad luck. Or sometimes we can manifest something that's not bad luck, but maybe we just need to sit down, relax, think about things in a particular space, in a particular manner for a certain amount of hours or days. That's how I look at that car. I look at the car thing as, okay, so I'm stuck for a reason. I don't have lots of meat or food. I have some eggs, but literally I'm not going to starve. I can use more things, but I'll probably have a ride in a few weeks. Probably not a big deal. Have all the water that I need. I have internet. What I do is videos. I'm doing a unique thing anyway, being off the grid and coming to you on YouTube, not something typically done. You know, few hundred on AdSense, little bit donations. Looks like I'm going to be able to make ends meet and really like step into these new shoes where Alex is now just working for himself. His energy isn't over here. Before I was working for a website that I didn't like very much. And I think over time, the guy saw my videos, he didn't like me very much. And he's also on the other side of the political fence. So we went our own separate ways without drama. Just done. He told me I was laid off over Google AdSense. But I really know it's something about something myself and the things that I say. Perhaps he got a lot of emails. People do watch this channel, and when they see an opportunity to affect my friendships with others, oh, they go for it. I've seen this happen multiple times this week. People can watch the channel, hundreds of videos, never say anything positive about anything that I put out. The minute they see an opportunity to disrupt the job or to disrupt, say, a friendship with, say, a best friend, and I'm just letting off steam, oh, they'll go for it. And it happened. And by the way, I talked about my best friend in this area, and I was feeling upset that I had not seen him for a while. And he came by, and we talked about it. And we buried the hatchet. And I basically expressed how I felt. And within hours of that, boom, other things were, though, moving into play, right? Drama things that may have disrupted me and him burying the hatchet. If so, so be it. So be it. And let the universe, right, fill in the blanks. But I'll tell you this, despite the negativity that I've seen on the internet, I know there's good men and women out there. But I think that most of the men and women of our society are absolutely corrupted. Now, people are going to want to twist that around and get defensive and feel, oh, you're putting down these people or this gender. And people want to twist it around. No, the majority, including various ethnicities, including white, including that which might be called non-white, right? I see a zombie society and population. Now, people may identify with certain races and genders, and to a certain degree, we can't put them into a box. But is that who they are really? Right? Are they really your name? Are you really your name? Are they really their name? Am I really Alex Ansary? Or is there something more to what we are? We take a look at these boxes that these people are in. Do you think that they're really thinking of themselves as a being that is more than themselves, or are they seeing themselves as a person of a certain gender of a particular ethnicity? And do they have a value attached to that or a defensiveness attached to that gender and or ethnicity? And I would say the answer is yes. So for me, energetically, it has felt toxic at times, focusing on the social fall of mankind, womankind, feeling hated by it, for it. And I realize you can't bring people together over just simply discussing the unconsciousness. So I seek to discuss consciousness, but outside the bubble of mainstream New Age theology and religion. As an individual that is interested in really right now, tonight, this season, moving to the winter, I want to go through a major shift positively forward with regards to spiritual growth. Psychic protection, that is what comes about when you're really on the path and you're strong spiritually. So those go together. So I think about if I've manifested, unmanifested, created, destroyed certain things. I didn't say everything. I covered that. We don't manifest all our fears or our desires, but do we play a part in something? Absolutely. What kind of person says we don't play any role in anything? So I think about the good women that are out there that do exist. Okay. I don't listen to those negative voices or people that just want me to do MGTOW videos or no. There's actually more support from women for this channel coming in than men, or it might be 50%, but the ratio appears higher, and the viewership from a female's YouTube analytics has gone from 10% female to 18% female. And I think a lot of it has to do with the relationship videos. I think a lot of it has to do with, I'm not so sure about the solar flares, perhaps, but certainly discussing psychic protection. There's been a lot of people that have contacted me in the last, I don't know why, this period after the eclipse, but it's like, I just found you. I hear that a lot. Or I just found your channel. Oh my God. And see, the other sense that I get is some of the information's too much. Or because people are so focused on the negative, they'll focus on something that they didn't like or what they don't like about me, and that'll be why they watch the channel. They want to get more of what they don't like. Whereas the other 99% of stuff, they're like, yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, but that I'm going to get you on that one. And so this is also kind of something I'm seeing in society that I guess it's been around ever since we've had YouTube, but I don't recognize it to be. Then again, mankind seems to have been in this predicament, in this fallen world. There's a reason why we're in this fallen world. And I'm blessed that I'm even in this position. Most people can't live on as less or as little as I do. Under 400 a month, willing to be single, speaking my truth, not changing my truth for mass acceptance. I see what other people do with their 400,000 subscribers, and I know why they have 400,000 subscribers. But if I were to be like them and follow their model, which I can do it anytime. I can make this show only about like hard hitting, controversial subjects and terrifying issues. And I can watch my numbers go like that, or I can stay outside the box. I'll cover an issue when I want to. When I want to call out the September 23rd hoax, I will. When it's time to report on North Korea, I will. When it's time to discuss the geomagnetic storms and again, discuss again how it's affecting us in mind, body, and spirit, I will. When it's time to talk about protecting our psyche and protecting our spirit, what does it mean to connect to the Creator? I will. But it won't be done on a schedule with an agenda to just make money off the machine. And ultimately, that's why people like Stephen, Pam, David, others, Patrick, Brock, Matt Kelly, David Smith, the whole gang over at outsidethebox.vhx.tv. Welcome 26th subscriber. More personal updates, life story, data, other aspects of the Alex Hansery soul over there. Here on YouTube, we continue, right, with the outside the box coverage, but no longer seeing necessity to give you 100% of what's on my mind, what's going on with me emotionally, what's inside my head, what makes me tick. Instead, I think about the power of my own mind and consciousness and the value in good people being in my life physically when they manifest, when the time is right, whether it be people moving to Colorado or the time right for me to go somewhere else, either this holiday season, which would be awesome. It would be awesome to have the money to just take off. Maybe not with a taxi, but go somewhere. But if the money isn't there, I just stay here. And I'm going to be like wall to wall. Literally, the snow is up to here on the other side of this wall. I don't know if you knew that. The snow builds up and it doesn't go away till like April. So I literally am going to be through like a snow apocalypse. And last winter, I shared a lot of things about my life story, which now I think would be better suited in a book and at the on demand channel. Did I feel more love or hatred by going into areas regarding my childhood and my life? The answer is I did not feel more love. There was a lot of bad energy. Now's a new day. And I can say that the general positivity, it helps with the election being behind us. Yeah. I mean, even with Trump being the president, it's all still the same system. Sure, we may be closer to the edge of something, but it's all still the same puppets. Even if he seems a little more sinister than Obama, Obama killed and murdered with a smile. I like Joker. I never liked that. I never liked that fake grin. So I'm not over the top with any anger towards any politician. In fact, I'm feeling more centered. And I mean, I keep looking for a close here on this video, folks, but this is definitely a night to give an update. It's not my job to warn people about World War III. I did it. I warned already. That's my thesis. That's Leon Lagan. That's our 2008 interview. This is the timeline for the 2020s. Done. Okay. I don't need to haunt myself with some sort of sensation that I have to have a blockbuster, Hollywood, whatever. I have a solar flare PDF that's going to be uploaded to the on-demand channel for those that want to become subscribers. You're going to find the PDF there probably in the next 24 hours. Now that my friend is feminine, I appreciate her help. Okay, I was definitely very patient with that. Thank you for your patience, but she did a good job helping me format. It's just the first of future books. I put a lot of data in there. I'm not so left brain analytical. It helps to have a friend do citations and editing. Open to other volunteers for other things in the future. Maybe help me run a forum. Something intellectual. Something we can really just think about for a few hours. you know, and that is a call to action for those of you that have strong attention spans. And I'm just being honest. We need to hold the focus and start investigating things, discussing things of merit, discussing things of value, eating things of value, stepping away from junk food, stepping away from junk thoughts, stepping away from junk YouTube videos. I mean, I'm watching lots of videos, but I'm looking for positive videos. I'm not looking for, and I'm staying. I mean, I look at today's news feed, and it's just like listening to Leon Lagan. Given this, forecast for him seeing in his vision lots of natural disasters that came before the Great War of all wars. And he talked to me about that 10 years ago. Look at where we are now. Look at these natural disasters. And people talking about what is it, weather wars, heart. I mean, I've been through this for years, folks. Conspiratoriology gets us nowhere when it comes to community. Conspiratoriology, New World Order, conspiracy. Those of us that are into those things, we have a hard time coming together, and we're stricken with fear. I've always wanted to be a bridge to the spiritual side, but I'm not going to claim to be a guru or something that I'm not. I'm not going to quote the scripture that people want me to, or read particular books that people want me to. But if I'm drawn to that scripture and I'm drawn to those books, then darn it, I'm going to read it. And I'm going to be open to reading it. And I am open to whatever you would like to share with me. If it's done in a non-aggressive way and a polite suggestion way, then I'm open to any spiritual text from any faith, any faith, any faith at all. If you come in love, I'm open to what you have to share. But this isn't a platform to be manipulated for someone else's agenda. I'm not saying you're doing that, but I'm saying that many have come before, even Portlanders that would call into my show that wanted the show to be a biblical show because I'm discussing things that to them sound like the tribulation years. And maybe there's a reason for that I'm not fully conscious of. But I do believe that I am speaking the truth. And if there are parallels between what I say and those that are speaking of the end times, then so be it. But I'm not coming to you in the tongue of and quoting. If I'm also accessing what some people say, the teachings of Jesus Christ, and I echo those themes in my own programs, then so be it. I'll take that as a compliment. But I didn't get my ideas from reading the Bible. I'm literally just speaking my thoughts. But I've gotten that for years, that there are parallels between my teachings and other teachings. And that's something that is in you. That's why maybe you found this channel. It's in our soul. And that is the oneness of energy that I'm tapped into and focused on. And I rather focus on that than the negativity. So yes, the focus is on good people. The focus is on the car being fixed, whenever it will be fixed, if it's a few days, if it's a few weeks. But I'm not going to act like this is a crisis. I'm going to be grateful that I'm here. And I'm going to be grateful that you're here. And I'm going to be grateful that YouTube is functioning. And I'm going to be back with more. So with that, we'll bring this video to conclusion. I'm Alex Ansari, sign off for September 25th, 2017.